Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of six and seven-figure CEOs. However, I have a mission. That mission includes you, entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first six figures in business. I want to help you to make the money and create time freedom. Let's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. I started this journey 5 years ago, and I'll spare you the details. Just know that I am living my best life and working my best business currently in Mexico. Okay. Let's get started. It all starts with the blog. We have yet to have blog talk this week, but hey, we'll see how that turns out. But the blog is at shaycannon.com/partner because we're talking about partnerships that pay for small business, okay? Partnerships that pay. What we know is that the very revenue goals that we think will take all year across multiple offers can be achieved in a single strategic partnership, okay? So these relationships can be a turning point toward your business success by offering a unique blend of mutual benefits, innovation, and market expansion. Okay, expansion, right? So this is what successful partnerships have in common. One, a commitment to a shared goal, and two, the use of collective strengths to achieve that goal. Okay, so again, you can significantly enhance your trajectory towards achieving and even surpassing your revenue goals to six figures and beyond. Now, yesterday we talked about the types of partnerships, okay? The most common ones and two that you may or may not have thought about for your consideration. We even talked about which ones are you going to employ as soon as possible because we want all of the partnerships if we can get them, but there's one that may have stood out. So if you want to hear more about that, catch yesterday's replay. Okay. Today, what we're going to talk about is basically what should you be looking for to make sure that these potential partnerships are good for you. Okay. So choosing the right potential partner is the next step to the desire to create a strategic partnership. Okay. So here are the things that you want to consider. Because yesterday you knew what kind of partnership. You kind of picked the one you're going to start with. Today, I want you to start thinking about actual partnerships that you could go for, right? Because there's something that they call, I'm going to say they because I don't remember who came up with it, but it's called a Dream 100 list, right? And that Dream 100 list is supposed to be made of people that you want to do strategic partnerships with, okay? So first we think about the people that we have in mind, but now we need to kind of qualify those people, all right? So these are the things that you can use to qualify your strategic partnerships. One, alignment of vision and values, okay? Alignment of vision and values. That means ensuring that your potential partner, okay, shares the same vision, values, and goals that you do, all right? What that means is if you out here trying to, let's go extreme, do a movement for Black people, and then you want to partner with a racist organization just because they have money, you see how that doesn't fit, right? Now, it could be that extreme, or it can be as little as you think that people should be paid what they're worth, and the person you're trying to partner with wants to pay everybody a wage that's not a livable wage, right? It could be that small, but you want to have the same vision, values, and goals, all right? Now, the next thing, you want to have complementary strengths and resources, okay? Complementary strengths and resources. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is the one that I have the most problem with, and this is the one that makes me not play well with others personally. But what it is identifying partners that can bring in skills, resources, and market access that complement your own, right? So if you are one that has a skill set and they have the actual people, right? They're supposed to have, access to people and bring the people in. Make sure that they can actually bring the people in so that you're not doing your skill set and then no people come. Okay. So you got to make sure that what they're saying is actually what they can do. Okay. Do they actually have complementary strengths and resources, right? So next one, cultural compatibility, assessing the cultural fit between the partnering organizations to facilitate smooth collaboration, right? But it's not just between y'all. How about them and your people? Okay. Like, I don't care what you say, my people are not gonna look too kindly on me talking about something doing something with Candace Owens. They ain't gonna be with it. Okay. My people are not gonna wanna, so you gotta look at, so the first one was about alignment of vision and values and all of that. That's you and them, right? But also I want you to think about them and your people. Okay. Them and your people. All right, cultural compatibility. So the last one is long-term viability, evaluating the long-term potential and sustainability of the partnership. Well, I'm gonna tell you, you want to evaluate it so that you are reading the room, but every partnership doesn't have to be a long-term partnership, right? But you do want to read the room so that you're not trying to turn something that was meant to be temporary in one time into something that's supposed to be multiple times and have longevity when the other person was just here for a short time, right? So you do want to read the room. And long-term partnerships are better, but every partnership is not going to be a long-term partnership. All right. So again, how are we going to make sure that these potential people are going to be a fit? Where we're going to look at whether or not we're aligned with the vision, mission, values, goals. Okay. Do we have complementary strengths and resources? Complementary means they fit well together. Okay. Complementary doesn't mean y'all got the same stuff. That's not what it means, right? If your strength is the same as the other person's strength, then what is the partnership about? Okay. Cultural compatibility. So that's going to be the assessing of the cultural fit with your people. Long-term viability. You just want to know, is this a potential long-term? You would like it to be, or sometimes maybe you wouldn't, right? But be able to read the room on whether or not it's long-term. Long-term can be good, but every partnership is not meant to be long-term. So keep that in mind. All right. So Letitia, I see you jumped in, Candyman. So are you available to come off the mic, Letitia? Because I have a question for you. So you are the one that introduced me to the Dream 100, and I just told them that they could have a Dream 100 for partnerships, but I don't really know what that is. I only hear it from you. So can you explain to the people what is the Dream 100 list and how are they supposed to use it? She said, give her a moment. Okay. So give her a moment, y'all. But meanwhile, I would like to know which one of these alignment, complementary, cultural, long-term do y'all think would be hardest for you to find in a partnership or evaluating a partnership when we get after Letitia defines Dream 100 list for us. So Letitia.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Woo, you even let me wake up good. So, Dream 100 is actually not a concept. It's a concept from this book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And I'll get the link and drop it in the chat for you guys. But basically, it talks about your Dream 100 list of people that you want to work with, that you guys have a common audience, and that you both can service. And so, I think it was kind of created by this guy, Chet Holmes, and I think Russell Brunson has a play in it as well. But again, it's looking at people who you share audiences with. There's ability there to share that audience and to service their audience. And so that's been a concept that's been around for a very, very long time. They actually even have, I think, a training around this Dream 100 list. And so you basically, reach out to these people. But again, it has to be a value to their audience and for them as well, not just a win-win for you. It has to be a win-win for everybody. And so, yeah, I do often talk about the Dream 100 list because I think sometimes people forget there are people that you collaborate with. I would just say lead with your value. Don't just lead with what they provide, which may be an audience. And then you may be on someone's Dream 100 list. I've been on people's Dream 100 list and shocked me a little bit too. But yeah, the Dream 100 is a big, big deal. And if I can find that link, and I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody. So I know I had the link where he kind of goes in and explains a little bit more detail. So if you don't have this book, which is a very, 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 very good book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, I love it. It talks about the Dream 100 in this book as well.
Thank you, Letitia. Okay, so I put at least the book name in the comments over there on Facebook, and then Letitia, when she can find the added resource, she can add it to the Facebook comments of this broadcast. Thank you, Letitia. Okay, so the question for you guys is Which one do you think is going to be hardest to identify for you? In a partnership, a potential partnership, alignment of vision, values and goals, complementary strengths and resources, cultural compatibility, or long-term viability. And I'm going to start with glow. So glow, which one do you think would be the hardest for you to identify in a potential partner? Let's see if glow is available. There you
Hey, ladies, I feel like the long-term liability would be the hardest for me.
go. Okay. Okay. I tell you what though, the funniest thing is sometimes that becomes clearer after you partner with them. How about that one?
Yep.
How about that one? Because I've had times where I was like, oh, this is gonna be good for a long time. And baby, I ain't want to do it another time. Do you hear me? So
I'm telling
sometimes you can identify that very easily after you've done the partnership at least one time. And let me tell y'all something. So that's a great one, Glow. Thank you for that. Another thing is you should always be evaluating how to make things better, right? Nothing starts off just perfect. So don't be expecting perfection out of other people or yourself, and don't allow other people to expect perfection out of you, right? Because, partnering is a process. Okay. You have to figure it out together. What are, again, like I said yesterday, right? If we go to the dating scene as an example, yes, a man has dated before at his age, but he's never dated you. So he still has to figure out about you, right? And you have to figure out about them. So same thing with any partnership, okay? You may be good at what you do, but you might not know how to do it well for that person, or do it in the way that they perceive the value of it for that person. So just know it's going to be a work in progress, but learn from it as you move on. And learning from it might also include not partnering with that particular person anymore, right? I had a partnership where I was new to Georgia. I had been doing events in Alabama forever, right? But I was new to Georgia. And so I wanted to partner with somebody. I knew I had the skill set. I knew I could market, but this person was supposed to bring their audience, right? We show up, right? And most of the people there are people I invited. Wait a minute, I ain't even from here. Okay, so clearly you didn't do your part, and clearly I don't want to do shit else with you, right? So there's that. So we're always going to be learning, but also be clear in what somebody's part is, and be clear with them about what you're expecting. Also, get an expectation from them. What are they expecting from you? What does success look like for both of y'all? Thank you for that, Glow. Dr. LaFera, which one of these do you feel like would be hardest for you to identify? Alignment of vision, values, and goals, complementary strengths and resources, cultural compatibility, or long-term viability? Which one do you think would be the hardest for you to identify in a strategic partnership or possible partnership? Now, Dr. LaFera, I did all that talking. You could have been unmuting all that time. What is going
what
on?
you say, Shay.
Just saying. Which one is the hardest for you?
I was thinking. It's not an easy question. Um, so possibly, I guess possibly strengths and resources because I'm small. So well, my brain is small. So right now, anybody that I work with is going to be bigger. So figuring out like how to, other than like I'm a doctor, figuring out how to, add value and what I bring to the partnership, that part.
Okay. So that's you evaluating yourself. I want to know what's going to be hardest for you to identify with them. Is it the
Well,
alignment? Is it the complementary strengths and resources? Is it the cultural compatibility or compatibility with your people? Or is it whether or not that it could be a long-term relationship?
maybe whether or not it could be a long term relationship.
Cool beans. Gotcha. Thank you for that. All right, Letitia, which one do you think will give you the most trouble? Oh, you don't want to participate? You feel like you gave your guruism and you done? Is
I mean,
that
I
what's
put
happening?
that on here. I don't even know what y'all are really talking about.
Mm-mm.
But I think for me, the biggest part again is probably alignment. A lot of
Okay.
times people want to partner with me and it's not in my best interest that, and so I think for me, I would guess on that list is alignment probably.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Kimberly is unloading herself at the at the JOB, the Dream Funder. So we're gonna leave her alone. Unless you want to talk and walk. You want to talk and walk, Kimberly? She just talking like she unmuted. We're gonna leave you alone, Kimberly, because you is over there discombobulated. We don't hear you, Kimberly. She talking, y'all. I bet it's good too. I bet it's good.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Which one do you think you'll have the most trouble with,
Moving
Kimberly?
like crazy and the weather is terrible. Vision and values, aligning with my values. Because I've been able to partner with a lot of people here in Atlanta, but the hardest part is finding someone with the same values as me. Our people that I've partnered with, they're just all only been about the bag and get to it however they can. And that's not me.
Gotcha. That was a good one. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. All right, Heather, which one you think would be the hardest for you to identify?
I think the sustainability, long-term viability,
Okay.
only because I haven't really, well, as we've talked offline about things, but like I haven't, there's an exploration happening, but
Mhm.
it's very preliminary, right? It's very baby steps right now. So I think that one, but also I don't know about difficulty, but that's the one that scares me and excites me the most.
Gotcha. That's
So
good enough. That's good enough. All right. Letitia has dropped a link to her recommended resource for the Dream 100 list, both in the studio chat, and I dropped it in the Facebook chat or comments. So you guys have all of that. Thank you, Leticia. All right, Dr. Toya and Deborah and Shawana, we don't know how much that you've heard. So we're talking about potential partners. We're talking about how to identify them or how to kind of judge them. You're going to use alignment of vision and values. You're going to use complementary strengths and resources. You're going to be looking for cultural compatibility, or do they even fit with your people? So the first one was alignment of vision, values, and goals. That's alignment with you, right? Cultural compatibility is alignment with your people, your tribe, the people that you serve. Last but not least is long-term viability. So let me help y'all out with this kind of stuff, right? So how do we find out whether or not they're a fit? Okay, number one, you're going to do some research and some due diligence, okay? Sometimes you even have to do a background check. Sometimes you just need to understand their vision, their business model, right? Sometimes knowing what their actual business model is and not just what they do helps you a lot to identify some of this stuff, okay? So at least do your top level due diligence, okay? People with a business most likely have, just like you should have, they should have their mission and values and vision on their website, right? So do you have it on yours? They should have theirs on their website. So you can go there and check first. Next, you should ask them, and guess what? They should be able to tell you, right? Just like you should be able to tell people what's your mission, vision, and value when it comes to your business. If you know someone who has worked with them or someone who has paid for their service or whatever, you can ask around about what are their sustainability and ethical practices, like how do they do business, right? Some of these people, we already know they have a reputation, okay? So just know that just like you can transfer credibility, you can transfer a bad reputation, okay? So keep that in mind. Complementary strengths and resources, hey, you can assess that by being specific about the strengths and resources and market access that you need to see if they can bring it, right? So this can involve analyzing their tech capabilities. What is their market presence, right? Have you seen them with a unique skill set to use it? There has to be something that drew you to them in the first place. So you have to know what that is, and you have to know what's still left on the table that y'all need, okay? Cultural compatibility. So you could talk to some people that work for them. Again, you can talk to people they've serviced or customers and clients of theirs. You can even witness what their management style is. Let me tell you how management style tells you a lot about a person. Okay. I've worked inside some businesses where we had to change the management style. Okay. So what we know about that is that could be the difference between a slave driver and a leader, right? But there's definitely the opportunity to be a tyrant within a business just because you own it. So you can look for things like that. It's kind of like, again, if we want to relate it to the dating world, it's like going on a date and watching how does your date treat the wait staff, right? It's not just how they treat you. because one day they're going to treat you like the wait staff. Just know that. All right. Long-term viability. You can analyze their growth. What growth have you seen, right? You can analyze their industry standing, okay, to see if they kind of have some staying power. I'm gonna tell you, one of them things about staying power, I'm gonna tell you one thing that tells on an entrepreneur about staying power is them coming up with a different offer every other day that's just different. I don't mean a different offer for the same person or figuring out how they can service the same person. I'm talking about look, they selling insurance like shake it one week, right? And then they cooking the next week like Dr. LaFera. And then they telling you they know how to put together your go high level because they put theirs together. So they trying to be Letitia the following week. So yeah, when you see people do that, how they gonna have long-term viability with you when they ain't even got long-term viability with their damn self? Okay. So that's one way you can look at that. Okay. Adaptability.
Will I
Adaptability.
be considered? I have a question. I'm sorry, Auntie
What's your
Shay, but
question, girl?
will I be considered as like a long-term liability, like with everything that I do, but being that
So I think
I've done
I think you're confusing the fact that you have for long term had different offers. That's different than one day you
okay,
doing locks and then you stop. And then the next day you got a podcast and then you stop. And then the next day you're
okay,
selling t-shirts and then you stop. So that's what I mean. They willy-nilly, they
okay,
switcherooing. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Now, if I took just the businesses and how different they could be, then yeah. But I'm talking about people who don't stick with anything. All right. Adaptability. Again, somebody who's been in business doing the same thing over multiple years, let me tell you how they've had to adapt to survive. And see, that's the difference, right? So they might hone their offer, but it's for the same person or for the same tribe. You see what I'm saying? So they might hone it, and you see them honing it and getting it better over time. But somebody who has had a business over time that's the same business has adaptability. So that is a good sign for long-term viability. Okay. You can engage in their network. Okay. Some of us have masterminds and go to networking meetings and all of that. Hey, watch how they engage with people, right? If you're in the network, you kind of already know about their reputation. If you don't know, ask around. All right. You can start with a pilot project or an initial engagement, right? You ain't got to sign on with the whole thing to begin with. You can start off with, okay, let's just try to do this part together. And if this goes well, then we'll go to a next part. Or instead of taking on that whole big project, let's take on this small project together and let's see how we work together. Okay. So that's another thing that y'all can do. So, Dr. Toya, given these resources, now which one do you think would be the easiest for you to identify in a partnership? Alignment, complementary strengths, resources, a cultural fit for your people, or long-term viability? Now that I've given you some hints and some things to work with.
The easiest, I think, is alignment.
Oh, beans. Well, you know what though, Dr. Toya, that's kind of, look, I feel like you got to pick another one. I think so. In case y'all don't know Dr. Toya works in alignment and manifestation. So I think that's cheating. That's cheating. She know how to call things to her and attract. That ain't fair. Pick another one, Dr. Toya.
Okay. Another easy one would be fit for my community.
There you go.
Is
Okay,
that,
cool.
okay, great.
Yeah, we'll let you get away with that one. Yeah. I love that though. All right, Deborah. Thanks for joining us again this morning, Miss Deborah. I see you got your welcome with the new people in the group on yesterday. But which of these do you think will be easier for you now that we've talked about some ways to kind of tackle each one? Which one do you think will be easier for you?
Let's see. The one that would be easiest for me to work with, to partner with,
Well, to identify in your partner.
in my partner, I would say complementary strength and resources.
Love it. Thank you, Miss Deborah.
Mhm.
All right, Shawana Kennedy is in the house. Which of these do you think will be the easiest for you to identify in your potential partners? Alignment of vision and values, complementary strengths and resources, cultural compatibility with your people, or a long-term viability of the partnership?
Good morning. I actually would I would still say that, yeah, I'm the top three. And the one that is the toughest and the biggest pill to swallow is that long term, as you were saying before, that long term viability. Because if you feeling that you're aligned, you guys have some of the same values, and you believe and see how you can partner for the masses, it's that long term that really kind of hurts you. It well has hurt me. I'll say that in times past. That long term viability and being okay to let it go, uh, that's been the toughest pill. But because yeah, I it's what come from the heart, and actually certain things, because I'm about energy and conversation, and like you said, doing due diligence. So those others kind of come fast. It's once you're in a thing, and like you said, you like, whoa, we about to kill this, we about to rock this and drain it dry and squeeze all the butter, get all the butter out of that duck. It's that long-term viability that it really that sucks. It sucks.
Thank you, Shawana. All right, Auntie Shaky. You can pick, because I don't know how much you've heard. So you can tell me which one you think will be the hardest for you to identify, or which one you think that you are equipped to get to it easier. Okay. So we're picking strategic partnerships. One thing you need to look for is alignment of vision, values, and goals. The next thing you need to be looking for is complementary strengths and resources. The next thing you need to be looking for is cultural compatibility, which is compatibility with your tribe, your people. And the last thing should be long-term viability, should be what you're looking for. So which one of those are either, tell me which one is the hardest for you, or tell me which one is the easiest for you.
So I have commitment issues, so it would definitely be the long-term viability. For sure.
Now, which one? You're saying that's the one that's the hardest for you?
That's the one that's the hardest for me.
Yeah,
for sure. And then also just even the complementary strengths and resources, because sometimes sometimes people come to the table like
Leticia
who was
said.
that? Shawana that said that. Like people will come to the table and it's like, oh, we got some really great ideas. It's really exciting in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I think I got this from you where you were like, I'm just not good with group projects.
I'm not.
So
I don't play well with others because I'm a literal person, right? I'm a literal person, and so I'm going to take you at your word. But the moment I identify and evaluate that your word don't match what you're doing, baby, I almost can't handle it, because and I'm gonna get you up out of here. Like it's hard for me, right? And so shit, it might even be a trauma, because I'd be mad as hell, y'all. But one thing that I know is I think that, that's where grace comes in, right? That's where, okay, well, if the value is not what they said, then what is the value? You see what I'm saying? Because everything, you can't just get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's why things like contracts exist and stuff. Like you can decide, I'm never doing this again, but you still have to stay in the moment and make what you're doing as viable as possible, right? So it's harder for me when people say they have a skill set or that they can do something and it looks like they possibly can, than it is me just, I'll tell you, people coming to me with the idea and saying that I've had, when I was writing books, I've had people come to me and say, I got an idea for a book. You write it and then we can split the proceeds. You got an idea. That don't mean shit. Everybody got an idea for something. So that's not a fair partnership. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to make sure that people not bringing you an idea that they can do nothing to help you bring to fruition. All they got is an idea, but they won't have the proceeds off an idea that 20 million other people probably got in the universe. Okay. So I need y'all to understand that just because you didn't think of the idea does not make them of value. Okay. I want to know how much help are you going to be to executing the idea. If you don't know stuff, then are you bringing in money to help us bring in other people that know things? Because that's a value. You see what I'm saying? But it's funny to me, and this is why we need to be reminded that when people take our ideas and try to execute it, an ideal is not enough, y'all. And they are not you. So we have to try to not be as bothered about that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I've had people come to me about stuff and I had to remind them that you know, this is what my fee is for ghostwriting, because that's what it sounds like you need. Because the idea by itself ain't enough. Is what I'll say. So you need ghostwriting services. And that means I charge you, not I split proceeds with you. But yeah, on the Facebook side, good morning, Kalia. Dania was agreeing with us with something. She said facts. Good morning, Demetra over there. So Kalia, Dania, and Demetra, feel free to tell me which one of these evaluations of a potential partnership is either easiest for you or hardest for you, or you can tell me both in the comments over there on Facebook. Another thing I would love to know, since we're talking Dream 100, thanks to Leticia, right? I would love to know, is there somebody, you might not have your Dream 100 list together yet, right? But you have in mind some partnerships that you want to do. Now, I don't want you to tell me who it is, especially if you've yet to approach the person and, you know, saying, we don't want to give away. But I would like to know, like, what do they do, or what is it of value they have that is the partner that makes you want to partner with them? Okay, so I'm gonna start with Heather. What is a partnership out there that you kind of know you want to kind of cement? What is the value of that partnership?
So someone that I would love to work with is I follow them faithfully on social media. I comment and engage with their material. They are a dynamic person. They operate their business with a high level of integrity. And I just think that there could be some synergies there. It's just, it feels a little nebulous right now on my end, like how that could happen. So I haven't reached out, and I'm also really scared too, but, you know, until that crystallizes a little bit more right now, it's just kind of moving around in the back of my head, but I know exactly who it is and what the potential benefits could be if I could just get a solid formed idea.
Cool, I love it. And so don't forget what Leticia said. The value can't just be what you need from them. It has to be what you can give them too. Okay.
Yeah.
Auntie Shaky, what is a partnership out there? You don't have to tell us the person, but you can tell us what is the value you would get and what is the value you would give.
Wow.
I know, right? And so sometimes this is why we haven't partnered with people. We haven't sat down and thought about it. But partnering with people, like I said to begin this blog post and this discussion, sometimes that revenue goal that we think is going to take a long time and over different offers can happen with one strategic partnership. So it is worth thinking about. What you got, Shaky?
It is, I mean, it's not a particular person, but it's more of an avatar, I guess. But someone that has a community of either investors or a community of professional people that are, you know, looking to evolve and build wealth. I think
Gotcha.
partnering with those type of people, and what I would bring to their community is an extra level of knowledge and information that those people could, you know, don't really have the skill set to be able to share.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Auntie Shaky. All right. Shawana, I'm just picking people now, y'all. I know we running the clock now, but Shawana, what is a potential partnership? And you don't have to say the name of the person. Just tell us what they could bring to you and what you could bring to them.
Honestly, I was going to say what she said, but really, it is more like an avatar, because there is really no one that I'm kind of like, you know, really checking them out like that. Is more or less of who I believe, if different opportunities present themselves because of what I know that I give, what I bring, and the more. So it's seeing how what I do and I do easy, the same for them, what they do and they do well, just really the whole alignment and God bringing the pieces and people together at the right time, because timing is everything too, because we could be the right people, but if it's not the right time, that could be an ugly mess. So it's even with that thought that prayer is just even praying for not only alignment, but it be the right time for that alignment. So that's part of my thought. And that's why I've been, of course you be in the present, and because you don't want to miss an opportunity that has been sent your way. It's
Mhm.
just in those things, because this is actually really a good conversation. Because you don't think about this. You just really don't. I mean, not me. I just don't be sitting up think about this. One, because my mind be in other places. But this is the great time, and for such a time as this. But yeah, I'm with Auntie Shaky. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Over on the Facebook side, Demetra said, I would love to partner with a museum so that I can provide additional educational experiences. The value I would get could be name and brand recognition. And so if you guys don't remember, Demetra has a tutoring service. She's a retired teacher. And she said she's going to have to dive into this idea more. Yeah, we all do, right? Including myself, especially myself, because like I told you, I have a natural aversion to this, trauma related, and just don't play well with others. So when I have projects, I do well with, myself and clients, right? I don't do well with partnerships where I'm supposed to share the idea with somebody. I'm just not a sharer like that. It's my project, mine, and you start saying stuff that I don't agree with. In my mind, the first thing I'm thinking is, thank you for your mood ass feedback, but we don't want to do that. So I have to work on that, right? Because again, like, a partnership can compound your impact, your influence, and your revenue very easily, more so than you working by yourself, right? So that's why this is something I have to work on. So don't feel bad if it's something that you have to work on, because y'all know I don't be around here feeling bad about stuff. I just work on it. Anybody else want to come off the mic and tell me about a partnership? You don't have to give the name of the person or organization, but tell me what they can bring to the table for you and what you can bring to the table for them. Dr.
I
LaFerre.
would like to. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Glow. You came off the mic first. Stay off the mic, Dr. LaFerre, but hold tight. Go ahead, Glow.
I would really love to partner with other podcasters that's on like a bigger platform than I am. I feel like that they will bring what my audience like, and I will also bring the energy of what their audience will like as well too. Because some of the podcasters that I do listen to, we basically talk about the same thing, but it's more of like their energy and them and how they bring it on. So if I can like get on a bigger platform to get out to a bigger audience, then that will help me.
I love that idea for you, Glow. It's like a crossover. We used to love a mashup back in the day. I don't know about y'all, but on Saturday mornings, if one of my favorite cartoons came together with another one of my favorite cartoons, I would lose my mind. So yes. So Glow, on Facebook, if you search for podcast guest, there are plenty of groups dedicated to podcast people looking for guests. So you can start there. Okay. Dr. LaFerre, what is a partnership that you would like?
Mine is with at least one speaker that I follow a lot. She's a women's speaker. And so she's in front of lots of women. She's very influential. I actually like a lot what she does in her messaging. Okay. And so for me, because I'm a doctor and because I'm a health coach and because a lot of women have a lot of problems, because they don't know their bodies, because they don't know what to eat, because they don't know how to love themselves, because they're not confident. Like, I do that stuff, and like I could offer when I get my course together and some of the other stuff, I could offer to be a resource to that person and to her people.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Dr. LaFerre. Anybody else want to come off the mic and share a partnership they're thinking about, not necessarily the name or the organization, what you need, what you could get from them, and what you could offer in return? Over here on the Facebook side, Demetra said, actually, there's an organization in town that I can partner with to begin the educational experiences outside the classroom. I'll reach out today. Look at that execution. She just shamed all of us. She gonna reach out today. What we reaching out to? We need to get on it, right? Well, all right. Another great show, ladies. Tomorrow we're going to continue on with partnerships. So join us, same bat time, same bat place. And with that, we are closing the studio. So y'all have a great day. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody.